Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. It is the weekend, so let's do the whole doggone thing. Saturday, the 27th of April, International Design Day, Love Your Thighs Day.
Oh, that gets harder every year.
Marine Mammals Rescue Day, Morse Code Day, National Babe Ruth Day, Gummy Bear Day, Prime Rib Day. I think I'll celebrate that.
Oh, you love prime rib.
Take our daughters and sons to work day, all of that stuff. World Design Day. Also on Sunday, the 28th, is Biological Clock Day. Clean Comedy Day. There's one I'll celebrate. I'm a big fan of clean comedy. National Arbor Day. I didn't know that was... National Kiss Your Mate Day. National Superhero Day. World Day for Safety and Health at Work. And Workers' Memorial Day. All of those things happening and much, much more. It is a long, long list of things happening. And I've got a gentleman that we're going to chat with about a new book that he has out. It's about wrestling. It's called Six Pack. We'll chat with him all about that coming up.
Whether you have a credit card now and need a better credit card, or if you don't even have a credit card but you'd like to get a good one, we would love to help at BetterCreditCards.com. We offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we can help you find a good fit for you at BetterCreditCards.com.
Give yourself a little credit
At BetterCreditCards.com.
BetterCreditCards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Researchers say that text messages and social media posts where words are stretched out by inserting the same letter over and over, or groups of letters, they're not done so for fun. They're actually conveying emotions. 2020 University of Vermont study found about 20 billion tweets. They found that by stretching out a word, whether written or spoken, it can alter the meaning of that word, as well as the emotion behind it. Certain words can be an indication of sarcasm and playfulness, like sure or right. On the other hand, yes can indicate tremendous excitement. So they're saying that when people do it...
I see what you're saying. I was a little confused as to where you were going there, but I get it.
So, now you know. Have you done that before? When you're typing stuff?
Oh,
Our
yeah.
son makes fun of me because I'll use capital letters, like I'll emphasize just one word. I'll put join us for a fun, like capital F-U-N.
Yeah.
Join us for a fun time. And Troy's like, oh, that's so annoying. I'm like, okay, thank you. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
So how do you like these gas prices? Not great, huh? How would you like to save money every time you get gas? I've been using this app for a few years and it's amazing. You can find out more at radiosavings.com. When I first heard about it, I didn't think we'd have this in our area, but they seem to have stuff all over the place. You can sign up for free and try it for yourself. They have savings on gas, but on many other things too, like restaurants and convenience stores. Try it for free at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by Genesis Gold, IRA.com. Hi, did you know that Prince Harry has officially declared the U.S. his new home?
I did not. Aren't we lucky?
The Duke of Sussex quit royal duties to move to America in 2020 with his wife, Meghan. She's the Duchess of Sussex. But they said at the time, the UK is my home and the place that I love. That will never change. Well, now Harry has updated his records in the UK to make clear that he's no longer a resident of Britain.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's now a United States resident. So,
could you imagine giving up royalty?
You know, I did. I gave up my royalty.
I did.
I was a royal pain, and now I'm just a pain. All right. We don't know everything, but now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by Radiosavings.com. Autobots Assemble. Paramount has released a trailer for Transformers 1, an animated sequel starring the voices of Chris Hemsworth, Brian Tyree Henry, and Scarlett Johansson. Hemsworth voices the young Optimus Prime, and Henry is D16 before he became Optimus' rival Megatron.
That's kind of exciting.
Yeah, it is kind of cool.
I think there's going to be a lot of people really super stoked about that.
And everybody get ready. It's coming to theaters September the 20th. So there's a link if you want to read more details in the show notes. And it says Marcika Haggerty, I don't know if I said any of that right, would have made her Law & Order SVU character Olivia Benson proud last week when she helped a child find their parent after the kid assumed the actress was a real police officer. So she was dressed like a police officer, and she's like, hey, you please help me? Anyway, she did help her.
Oh, how sweet.
That's really, really cool. I've got a link to that whole story if you want to read it all in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Do you have a mobile phone? How much do you pay every month? If that number is more than $15, it's time for a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it affordable and easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's far less than most people are paying, just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. Sometimes I feel like this little segment is the dumping grounds for things I don't know where to put because I just never know where to put things. But this is something that was sent to me that I thought was funny, and I wanted to see if you think it's funny.
Okay.
This was questions you wish you hadn't asked.
Okay.
So I'll give you some examples, like this one. Why is this chair wet? You ever been in a situation where something like that happened? I have recently, because we have a puppy and she's still not quite used to going outside.
Goodness.
How about this? What's inside this letter from the government?
Oh.
Is it ever good news?
Usually not, no.
We did have one time where we got a check from the government, from the IRS. It was for an overpayment from like 8 years
We
before
did,
that.
and that was very surprising.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, what? We owe them money right now. How about here? Another question you wish you hadn't asked. Is that, if that's not chocolate, then what is it? Yeah, you probably don't want to know. How about this? What's keeping that beltless vagrant's pants up? I don't know.
Okay. I've never asked that.
I've never asked that
wanted
either.
to know.
They're not all going to be winners, Heidi. We got a list of questions you wish you hadn't asked. Like, where are we? Honey, why are you so sick every morning lately?
Oh, yeah. I can answer that one.
I remember those days. That was morning sickness, and we had a baby girl. How about this one? No, sir, I don't have life insurance. Why do you ask? It's like the Needlehead Ned the Head from Groundhog Day. How about this one? A question you wish you hadn't asked. So, exactly how contagious are you? And our final one, when you say about average, exactly how many other men are you comparing me to? Yeah, you probably don't want the answer. Scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis? By allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover, you can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD or visit genesisgoldira.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend. Excited to visit with our guest. He is an author, Brad Balukjian, and he has a new book out. It's called The Six Pack: On the Open Road in Search of WrestleMania. And I'm excited to visit with you about this. Inside of me, there's a wrestling fan. I haven't watched wrestling as much as I did when I was a kid, but we used to watch it all the time. And this is really kind of a fun book. Tell me about the inspiration and how this whole book came together.
Well, I grew up, John, in Rhode Island as a wrestling fan in the 80s, watching it on Saturday mornings and the cartoons, and had the action figures. And the Iron Sheik was my favorite wrestler. And I got to know him as an adult and became friends with him, and actually quit my job at a magazine in 2005 to go live outside of Atlanta where he lived to collaborate on a biography. And that went completely sideways. If anyone kept up with the Iron Sheik's antics in those days, he was a little bit volatile, unpredictable. First line of the book is that the Iron Sheik just threatened to kill me. So that didn't end up happening. Well, he didn't kill me, nor did I write the book. But 17 years later, I went on the road to go find him again, along with several of the other wrestlers from the 80s who were on the show when he became the champion. And I wrote this book, The Six Pack, which is about the extent to which these wrestlers became their characters or did not, and kind of the human side of these WWF wrestlers.
And you mentioned them as characters, and for fans of wrestling, they know there's like this big, larger-than-life persona for each one of the wrestlers who step in the ring. Now, sometimes they live up to that persona, and their real life is similar. Sometimes not so much, right?
Yeah, and that was interesting. That meeting with, in this book, I traveled around to the hometowns to interview people that knew these guys before they were wrestlers, and people like Sergeant Slaughter were actually pretty shy, pretty quiet people. And so it's interesting when they transformed into these characters that were so outspoken and colorful. And a lot of times, as you said, the real person behind the character may have been very different than the person they're portraying on screen.
Now, wrestling is 100% entertainment. Now, there are people out there that'll call it fake. I don't know if fake is the right word, because when it comes right down to it, it's real bones being broken. It's real people getting hurt. There's a lot of real involved in this. But if you think about it, almost like a play, you don't ever go to a play and stand up in the middle and go, that's fake. Or, vaudeville, back in the day, it was always larger than life, and they're talking to the person in the last seat in the audience. So I don't think fake is the right way to put it, but it's definitely 100% entertainment, isn't it?
Yeah, I always thought that real versus fake question was so silly, because like, who goes into a Marvel movie and comes out and says, oh, that was fake? Right? I mean, yeah, of course, it's a show, it's staged. But playing these characters for so long, especially in an era in the 70s and 80s when they were expected to keep up that character in public, a lot of them did struggle with becoming their character. And kind of Hulk Hogan, his real name is Terry Bollea, guy from Port Tampa, Florida. And, when Terry Bollea would go in, or when Hulk Hogan would go into the grocery store, people wouldn't see Terry Bollea, they would see Hulk Hogan. And he was kind of expected to always be in that character.
I can only imagine going to the grocery store and bumping into Hulk Hogan. Hey, can you grab me some bread there, brother? I mean, that would just be unreal. And when it comes to becoming that character, some people become that character, and some people probably like becoming that character. But when you did this book, you had a chance to talk to a whole lot of people. What was it like when you were visiting with them? Was that something that some of them struggled with?
Every single one of them. The hardest part, the one person I think that had the easiest time in not becoming that character was a guy named Bill Eadie, who wrestled as in the tag team Demolition, and he was the Masked Superstar. And I think the reason why he had a better time of it was because his face was always obscured or hidden in some way. He wore a mask, or he had face paint. And so when he would go out to the grocery store, no one would know that he was a wrestler. And he was able to, I think, have a little more privacy and anonymity than someone like the Iron Sheik, who clearly was the Iron Sheik no matter where he was. So it's just interesting that the effect of having that character being under a mask or having your face hidden, how that ended up being helpful in some way.
Absolutely. The book is out right now. Brad, thank you so much for taking a little time to chat with us about it.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it, John.
The book is called The Six Pack: On the Open Road in Search of WrestleMania. It's available right now. I've got a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Whether you have a credit card now and need a better credit card, or if you don't even have a credit card but you'd like to get a good one, we would love to help at bettercreditcards.com. We offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back, or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we can help you find a good fit for you at bettercreditcards.com.
Give yourself a little credit
At bettercreditcards.com.
bettercreditcards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Every time you shuffle a deck of cards, you will get a combination that has probably never existed before.
Isn't that crazy?
It just seems almost impossible.
It does
to me,
seem
but
impossible.
Apparently, that's the thing. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
When pitched, the average Major League Baseball rotates 15 times before it gets hit by a bat.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's kind of nuts. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What is that, John?
From a complete stop, a human is capable of outrunning a Formula One race car for about 30 feet.
Really?
Yeah. It takes them a little longer to get up to speed, apparently.
Huh.
How about this? Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Only one person in recorded history has ever been hit by a meteorite. Yeah, only once. So You think that it would
That
be
would
more
be
than
a
that.
very unlucky person.
Yeah, and our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Cats were once used to deliver mail in Belgium, but it didn't last. We shared that one other time. I
bet
remember
not.
talking about that. Several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
So how do you like these gas prices? Not great, huh? How would you like to save money every time you get gas? I've been using this app for a few years and it's amazing. You can find out more at radiosavings.com. When I first heard about it, I didn't think we'd have this in our area, but they seem to have stuff all over the place. You can sign up for free and try it for yourself. They have savings on gas, but on many other things too, like restaurants and convenience stores. Try it for free at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of mintervention.com. Question for you, Heidi. In a poll, nearly 30% of people admitted that they do this every day, and they're not ashamed to admit it.
Oh my
What is
gosh,
it?
I
Oh,
couldn't
I
even
would, and I bet we
begin to-
probably have in the past. I know we don't now because, we're doing better on stuff like this now.
Eating a full package of cookies.
No, we've never eaten a full package of cookies every day, but eating candy every day.
Speak for yourself.
All right, Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way, courtesy of mintervention.com.
Do you have a mobile phone? How much do you pay every month? If that number is more than $15, it's time for a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it affordable and easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's far less than most people are paying, just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. This has kind of taken the internet by storm, and it seems straight out of Weekend at Bernie's. A Brazilian woman wheeled the corpse of an elderly man into a Rio de Janeiro bank to have him co-sign a loan.
My gosh.
The woman, captured on video standing next to a dead man seated in a chair, was holding him up. He was drooping his head. She was holding his head up. She's seen talking to him, and she kept calling him her uncle. She asked him to sign some documents that would allow her to take out a $3,400 loan. So she wasn't asking for a lot.
Oh my gosh.
Bank worker pointed out the man's color looks off and he appears not well. She said, well, he's like that. He doesn't really say anything. Bank staffers called the police. When they arrived, they arrested the woman. It was later determined the 68-year-old man had been dead for several hours before she took him to the bank.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's not good. Weird news. Brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Heidi, I have 2024 cities with the biggest and smallest yards. What do you care more about, the biggest yard or the smallest yard?
The biggest yard.
All right, we'll go with the biggest yard. Number one biggest yard. We'll do number 10, Acreage, Florida. Average yard is just under an acre, and it's called the Acreage.
That's an average size.
Yes, just under an acre. Barnstable Township, Maryland is the next one. Weatherford, Texas. Nacogdoches, Texas. Derry, New Hampshire. Number 5, Fallbrook, California. Number 4, Caledonia, Wisconsin. Number 3, McCoon, Wisconsin. I hope I said that right. Number 2, Linton Hall, Virginia. And what state do you think has the biggest yards of them all?
Oh my gosh.
I wouldn't have guessed this.
I honestly don't know.
I would have guessed
Kentucky.
No, I would have guessed something like Montana, or Wyoming, someplace
who
with
is
a
it?
lot of space. Maryland. Yeah.
Ah.
Kearney, Maryland has the 100 score on here. They have the largest average yard of 1.14 acres. That's the largest average yard. If you'd like to see all of this, you can find them in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis by allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD or visit genesisgoldira.com.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of radiosavings.com. Our quote today is from George Will, who said, "The nicest part about being a pessimist is that you are constantly being either proven right or pleasantly surprised." Yeah. Heidi would agree with that. She is very
I am
pessimistic.
not a pessimist. I'm a realist.
No, you are a pessimist.
There's a difference.
Yeah, the difference is you are a pessimist. Quote of the day comes your way, courtesy of radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. Would you consider yourself a person who likes to go fishing? You don't really go fishing.
I don't go fishing, but when I am fishing, it's very peaceful.
Yeah. As a kid.
As long as I don't have to do the stuff with the hook and the fish and all that.
When I was a kid, I went fishing and hunting every single day of my life up until I started kindergarten. And then after that, it was like after school, I was out fishing and hunting. I don't dislike it, but it's not something that I do a ton now because I did a lot of fishing as a kid. But listen to this story here. Ohio teenager sets a state record with a massive catfish catch. 15-year-old Jalen Parker made some waves in Ohio by catching the biggest fish on record since they started keeping records in the 1950s.
Really?
There's a photo of her and her big fish, and it is a big, big fish, weighing 101 pounds. Yeah, 101-pound catfish. Yes.
Holy cow!
Yeah, it's almost a cow. It is 101.11 pounds.
Is there a picture of this thing?
Yeah, there's a photo. You should stop over and look.
I definitely need to look at
I
this.
have a link to it as well, so you can see it. I would hold the photo up to the radio, but it doesn't work that way. But the nice thing is, on our page, johnandheidishow.com, we've got a link to the story. You can see it there.
Oh, my gosh.
And it's just massive. And it's on the side of the river here, or lake. I'm not sure if that's a lake or a river behind her. Oh, Ohio River. Okay. And there was a creek that's connected to the river is where she caught it. But on the side of the creek, it's her sitting on the ground holding this giant fish, and then there's two guys behind her, kind of like, because it would be horrible if this thing like flipped and flopped and got away. And then there's a photo of her at a place where it's on a giant scale, and that's where they show how much it weighs. Giant fish.
Yeah,
what a
I
big
need to
fish
see
story.
that. Don't close that out.
All right, I won't. And you can see it as well. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show.